And you want to avoid crop tops and jackets that end at the waist. They will just make you look like a linebacker. Hello beautiful people, and welcome to Born to be Zesty. My name is Tori, and on my YouTube channel I focus on fashion, beauty, and lifestyle, where I also share my passions for food, fitness, and home decor. So if any of those topics interest you, I hope that you will stick around. Today we're talking about body types and how to dress for each silhouette to optimize figure flattering style. Understanding your body type and understanding the garments that will best figure your body will save you a ton of money, a ton of time, and a whole lot of stress, because so many times we buy things, we see them on other people, we see them on influencers, we see them on models, and they look amazing, and then we get them home and we just can't figure out why we can't make it work. 9 times out of 10, it's just not the appropriate garment for your particular silhouette. So therefore, nothing that you're doing to style it is giving you the desired look. I touched on dressing for your body type in, I believe, 3 previous videos. One would have been Better Basics, the Fix for Frumpy, and most recently, the Summer Outfit Recipes. All 3 of the videos that I mentioned are great companion videos for this one. I highly recommend watching them. I will have them linked for you all. Really putting those 3 pieces together will do wonders. Definitely check out the Fix for Frumpy, the Golden Ratio video. I'm telling you, these 2 things work hand in hand and they will do wonders for optimizing your wardrobe with figure flattering styles. So there's a lot to cover. Get your wine, get your coffee, get your popcorn, and let's jump in. So there are 5 basic body types: apple or round, pear-shaped, inverted triangle, rectangle, and hourglass. I will break down each of the body types and the types of silhouettes that are best suited for each body type. Let's go. Let me just start by saying that for all body types, I highly recommend having an updated bra fitting and investing in really good supportive bras. Bras that are best for your particular figure type, bras that fit you well, and bras that will lift the chest and provide the necessary separation between your chest and tummy area, which provides a great starting balance. The first body type is rectangular or athletic. This body type is characterized by bust and hips that are approximately the same width, with little to no waist definition. The hips and bottom tend to be a bit more straight, and there's a lack of curves throughout the body frame. The focus fix here is to enhance the waist and create curves by adding volume proportionately to both the upper and lower body. Structured garments are going to be best for this body type. You can wear brighter colors on the upper or lower half while keeping darker colors around the waist area, which will give you more definition. Try playing with various silhouettes that give the body shape and add curve, but definitely want to steer clear of those straighter, more boxy cuts that are shapeless and oversized. They will do nothing for your figure. Always want to opt for items that are going to accentuate or cinch in the waist. Shirts and jackets should end at the hip line rather than at the natural waistline, because that will just further accentuate the boxiness. Choose clothing that accentuates the waist and really shows off your arms and legs. Any type of embellishments or details at the bust area will add volume to the upper body, but you want to be sure that you balance that with volume on the lower half, which you can accomplish with your sleeves. Sleeves that have volume, bells, and that type of thing will visually add more volume to the lower half of your body. And figure hugging bottoms will break up the rectangle and add curves throughout your frame. Now, you can use several tactics to create curves on the rectangular frame. So let's start with the neckline. So round necklines like scoop necks or jewel neck will create curves, while wider necklines like your wider V-necks, slash necks, sweetheart neckline will visually lengthen both the shoulder and the bust area, which will give shape to your upper body. Again, sleeves can also be used very strategically to add volume to both your upper and lower body. Those puffed sleeves or the little flared sleeves or like little ruffle details on a shorter sleeve will add more volume to the upper body, whereas when you're wearing long sleeves, those that have, you know, the nice flare at the bottom or the bell sleeves or even just simply high volume will provide more width at the hip area. Overall, for the rectangular frame, a looser fit sleeve with a little more volume will be optimal. As I mentioned before, embellishments at the upper body will also add volume. So those are going to be your little rosette details, pockets, pleats, even your button downs will definitely add a little more visual interest and volume to the upper body. Peplum tops, belted tops, wrap tops, or again, any type of top that is more cinched in the waist area with that slight flare towards the hip will again help to break up the rectangle and provide curves along the frame. When it comes to jackets, you want to opt for things that are cinched in at the waist. So those are going to be your belted jackets, jackets that have that nice wrap detail, or jackets that are cinched, that are fitted in the waist area and then slightly flare out at the hips. Again, will break up the rectangle and provide more curves along the body. Strong shoulder pads are definitely recommended for this body type. Again, it will help to give width to the shoulder, which will make the waistline appear smaller. And if you further pair that with a jacket that is belted or further accentuates the waistline, will definitely help to add balance and curve to the rectangular body. Now, when it comes to trousers, you want to add volume on the lower half. Remember, with the rectangular body, we've got this square or this rectangle that we're trying to break up. So by adding volume to the top half of the body and then adding volume to the bottom half of the body gives the appearance of a more narrow and defined waistline. So when it comes to trousers, you definitely want to opt for fabrics that are a little more flowy. These will soften the hard angles of the body and give it a little more feminine structure. For trousers that add volume to the rectangular body, think wide leg boot cut or flare trousers. And boot cut denim is by far the best for this body type, as it adds just the right amount of volume on the lower half while simultaneously really enhancing the curves along the body, which will really help to feminize and soften the frame. Now let's talk about skirts. Skirts and dresses with softening details. Here we're talking ruffles, ruching, pleats will also work to soften and feminize the frame, whereas flared hemlines like trumpet skirts, pleated skirts, bubble skirts, or skirts with panels or layers are great options to visually add curves to the body and help to balance the frame. Also remember that you can utilize color to add volume to either the top or the lower half. Again, doing so, you want to make sure that you keep darker colors around the waistline and give the appearance of having a slimmer and more defined waist. Now let's talk apple or round body types. The apple or round body is characterized by a full bust, narrow hips, and a fuller midsection. This body type will have rounder, wider shoulders, a more flat bottom, can be an average to large bust size, but the rib cage in the back appear to be wider, which adds more girth to the midsection. This body type will also generally have nice slim legs, and as I mentioned, little to no defined waist. The focus fix for a round or apple body type is to define the waist and midsection, balance out the upper body, which can easily be achieved by choosing clothing that adds volume or fullness to the lower body. This will help to de-emphasize the midsection and visually creates a more defined waist. Again, for this body type, flaunt your assets. which are usually your full bust and shapely legs. General tips: always avoid garments that add unnecessary bulk or embellishments in the midsection or the waist area. You want to opt for soft fabrics that are slightly fitted with a straight cut. On the upper body, ensure that any embellishments or details to the garment are going to be above the bust line, and on the lower body, keep those types of details below the hemline, which will help to draw attention to the legs. Bright or bold colors can also be used to draw attention to the lower half of the body, which will take the attention away from the midsection. And you can further narrow the waist by wearing darker colors around the midsection and the waist area. Now let's talk necklines. Here you want to make sure that your necklines are creating a visual break between the chest area and the midsection. This can be accomplished with necklines that are both low and wide. The width will help to lengthen the shoulder line, whereas the low will help to elongate the torso. High and narrow necklines will hide the chest and narrow the shoulders, which creates a further imbalance to the upper body. With the apple or round body, strong shoulders or having any types of details or embellishments along the shoulder area really helps to accentuate the arms and play down the midsection. Here you want to opt for loose or voluminous sleeves. Flared sleeves, cap sleeves, or shoulder pads are great for you. Tops that wrap at the waistline and those that slightly flare at the hips are excellent options for camouflaging the midsection. And believe it or not, texture, large prints, and diagonal prints are great at concealing volume in the midsection. Also make sure that you're opting for tops that end below the hip line. Anything that is stopping above that area is just going to make the torso look larger. For this body type, you want to avoid boat necks, halter necks, big shawl collars, avoid crop tops and fitted tops, and double-breasted blazers. Sleeves with volume, or slits, cuffs, any type of nice sleeve detail to give you the balance up top. When it comes to jackets, wrap styles and tailored jackets that just skim over the midsection, again, ensuring that they have a strong shoulder, are also great for this silhouette. You want to avoid structured belted jackets and double-breasted jackets. Now let's talk trousers for the round or apple body type. Wide leg and flowy fabrics are best to balance the wider midsection. Wide leg and flowy fabrics are great options when it comes to balancing a fuller midsection. Pants with prominent pockets, think cargos, are great for adding curves to the hips. Best options with trousers in terms of balancing the midsection is going to be low to mid-rise with a nice wide waistband, something that's got like a side kind of hidden closure without the belt loops and buttons and things, with a flat front, are all excellent options because they add no extra bulk to the midsection. When it comes to denim, bootcut, wide leg, and flare leg denim do a great job of creating balance without adding any bulk to the waistline. Now let's get into skirts. For the round or apple body type, the length of the skirt is important as we're seeking to create balance with the upper body and the larger midsection. You want the length of your skirt to be either just above or right at the knee, or just above mid-calf. This is going to give you the most appropriate length in the bottom portion of your body to balance out the wider upper body. Bubble skirts, tiered skirts, flared skirts, full or straight skirts with a flirty hem are excellent balancing options. Now for the round or apple, you can do body skimming A-lines, bias cut skirts, paneled, or even pleats. However, you want to ensure that those details, those pleat details, the panel details, all of those things start below the tummy area. However, knee-length bias cut skirts and pencil skirts look great on you. Now let's get into the pear-shaped body. Pear-shaped bodies are characterized by shoulders that are more narrow than the hips, and they could possibly be sloped as well. Generally smaller on top half, smaller bust line, but a defined waist with nice curvy hips. This body shape also tends to have fuller hips and thighs. The focus fix for the pear-shaped body: create the illusion of volume on the upper body, maintain emphasis on the defined waist while de-emphasizing the hips. This can be easily accomplished by adding more volume to the shoulders and bust. Overall tips for the pear-shaped body: structured shoulders are your best friend. You want garments that widen the shoulder line. Shoulder pads, strong shoulders, garments that have embellishments and details in the upper bust or shoulder area. Bright colors, all of these things will catch the eye and draw the eye upwards, which again will help to de-emphasize the lower body. Opt for fitted garments that accentuate the waist while building strong shoulders. Avoid any kind of patterns or details or pockets or things of that nature on the hips, as that will just widen the hips and further the imbalance. And very simply, keep colors dark and simple on the lower half and add the shoulder pads. Necklines. For the pear-shaped body, you want to choose garments that are going to, again, widen and lengthen the shoulder line. Your bateaus, your square neck, the Sabrina necklines, garments with embellishment in the shoulder or bust area. Think cow necks, ruffles, and oversized collars. These all add volume and draw the eye upward, downplaying the lower half of the body. Like the apple and the rectangle body, hair sleeves can help to add volume to the upper body, creating the visual balance that we're looking for. Because the pear-shaped body does have a defined waist and hips, here again, the length of the sleeve will determine the detail that we're going for. If you're going for a short sleeve, this is where your ruffles, your puff sleeves, and the bells are a great option. They will give volume and lengthen the shoulder line without adding width to the hips. With long sleeve options, you want to go in the exact opposite direction. Tapered sleeves are going to be best, as tapered sleeves generally have a little more structure or volume in the shoulder while narrowing towards the wrist, so they don't add any type of extra bulk or girth to the hip line. Additionally, crop tops, tops that end right at the waistline or that end at the hip line are optimum. You never want a top that goes below the hip line, as it will just add additional girth to the hips, which will create a further imbalance. Jackets should definitely be structured and with a strong shoulder. Crop jackets are also great, as they will show off the slim waistline, and long line jackets will help to elongate the body and slim the hips. Let's get into trousers. The best options for a pear-shaped body are going to be mid to high rise, again to show off that narrow waist. Now, relaxed fit trousers that fall straight from the widest part of the hip, plain front, flat front, boot leg, straight leg, and ankle length are great options for the pear-shaped body. Definitely want to avoid anything that's got like pleats, big pockets, creasing details in the front, skinny fits that taper at the ankles. All of these are going to add weight to the lower half, widen the hips, and create a further imbalance. When it comes to denim, straight cut, boot cut, and flares in mid to high rise are best, and a dark wash is a major plus. When it comes to skirts, think mid-rise or high-rise. These are going to do a great job of accentuating your nice defined waist. And in an A-line or a bias cut, these do a great job of balancing the hips. Length matters, so you want to opt for a knee length or just above mid-calf length to lengthen the legs and help to provide an overall balance to the body. Next up, inverted triangles. Now, the inverted triangle shape is basically the opposite of a pear shape. Here we've got broad shoulders and a full bust that just narrow all the way down to the hip line. So there's really no defined waist and very narrow hip, creating this inverted triangular shape. The focus fix for this body type is to add curves to the hips while creating a more defined waist and de-emphasizing the wider shoulders. This can be accomplished by softening the broad shoulder with soft draping fabrics that help to feminize the frame. Simple tips: we want to avoid wide neckline that further broaden the shoulders, and definitely avoiding shoulder pads. You want to stay away from patterns on your tops, scarves around your neck. Stay away from big collars and skinny straps, as they will just make the shoulders appear wider. We also want to focus on adding volume and interest to the hip area to create curves along the frame of the body, which will make your shoulders look smaller. We can create the illusion of a smaller waist by selecting clothing that add volume to your lower body and widen the hips, as well as selecting garments that draw attention to your beautiful legs, like bright colors or detailed patterns on the lower half. For the inverted triangle body, we definitely want to steer clear of skinny and tight trousers, as well as narrowing hemlines, as these all further reduce the lower body. So starting with the neck, we want something that's going to visually reduce the width of the shoulders, like deep and narrow U-necks or V-necks. Asymmetrical tops are also great because they create a vertical break, and halter tops help to elongate the torso. For this body type, again, we want to avoid things that widen the shoulders, like the bateau neck, square necks, and the Sabrina neckline. Again, we can use sleeves to strategically create volume along the body. For the inverted triangle body, which already has strong shoulders, again, remember the aim is to de-emphasize that. So for short sleeve top, you want to go for something that is fitted and tapered. Drop shoulders are great, split shoulders are great, and cutouts also help to slim the shoulders. This is also a body shape where you want to use long sleeves to add volume to the lower body. So you want to think of flowy, voluminous materials that are going to add width towards the hip area. So this is going to be your kimono sleeves, your dolman sleeves, or just overall things that taper and then add the volume towards the lower end of the sleeve. Choose wide straps over skinny straps. Those skinny straps will just make your shoulders look extra wide. And of course, we're going to avoid any type of shoulder details or embellishments, and definitely avoiding shoulder pads. The best top options are going to be those that have a more straight cut or wrap style or side vents at the hips. Tops that play up the waist and then give you a slight flare at the hip. These will all give you the definition in the waistline and create the volume that you need to balance the broader shoulders. Remember that you can also use color to help create balance. Wearing darker colors on top will help to de-emphasize the upper body while drawing attention to the lower body. And you want to avoid crop tops and jackets that end at the waist. They will just make you look like a linebacker. Jackets. Jackets should be straight cut. Think soft, deconstructed shoulders, and fluid fabrics. Jackets that are belted or cinched at the waist and flare towards the hip will also help to de-emphasize the upper body while providing the needed balance in the hip and lower body area. Jackets should extend the hip line to balance the shoulders, which also help to create a more feminine silhouette. Again, with the inverted body type, you want to avoid double-breasted jackets, oversized collars, and crop jackets, as they just simply add bulk to the upper body. Now for the inverted body type, as we are looking to add volume to the lower body, trousers can do the trick for you. You've got a number of options available here. Relaxed fit, baggy trousers, wide leg trousers, palazzo pants, culottes, flared pants, joggers are all ideal examples. Don't forget to use color. Bright colors, patterns, and embellishments on the lower body will help to add curves and feminize the frame, as well as adding volume to the hips and bottom. Now, if you prefer slimmer styles, you want to opt for straight cut or cigarette pants. They do a much better job of balancing the frame than skinny pants. For the inverted triangle body, relaxed fit denim is best. Here you want to think boyfriend jeans, wide leg, baggy relaxed fits, and cargo pants all give the illusion of a feminine frame. Here, your details will also do a great job of drawing the eye down, which will help to de-emphasize the upper body. So here you want to think pockets, distressing, embellishments, all the good things that draw the eye away from the upper body, creating more of a visual balance. For the inverted triangle body, sorry to tell you, skinny jeans are a no-no. Skirts, basically any style skirt that adds volume to the lower half of your body will work for the inverted triangle shape. A-line, full skirts, bias cuts, ballerina skirts, tulip skirts, trumpet skirts, voluminous skirts, tiered skirts. Girl, you've pretty much got the gauntlet. Anything that provides a nice defined waist and provides fullness to the lower body to feminize the shape, soften and add curves will do a great job at balancing an inverted triangle body. Lastly, we have the hourglass body type. Now this body type is characterized by bust and hips that are pretty proportional with a narrow defined waist. This body type has a very natural balance. The focus here is to select garments that follow the body's natural silhouette. We want to be sure not to create an imbalance by adding too much volume to the top or bottom or adding too much bulk to the waistline. So overall tip here, choose clothing that shows off your natural curve. Simple garments that don't clutter the silhouette, that don't add unnecessary bulk or visually distort the silhouette. You want to avoid drawing attention to either the hips or the shoulders. And steer clear of straight style, boxy cut, and loose, shapeless garments that hide the waistline that drown your silhouette. We always want to accentuate the waist cinching garments, as well as wearing dark colors in your waist area, which will further showcase your nice defined waistline. Starting with necklines, we want to ensure that we're not doing anything to widen the shoulders or add unnecessary volume. Rounded, oval, and jewel necklines, as well as sweethearts and scoop necks are great options. Just keep in mind that high necklines like turtlenecks or anything with embellishments up top will add volume to the upper body, whereas things like deep V-necks are more slimming. Sleeves. Again, we want to ensure that we're selecting garments that are not going to create a visual imbalance. So nothing that is going to add volume to either our upper or lower body. If you do opt for something that is going to give you volume in your sleeves or your shoulders, ensure that you balance it proportionately with the same type of volume on the lower half. The simplest and best sleeve for an hourglass body type is going to be a fitted sleeve. This way you don't have to do any fussing with making sure that you've created the right balance on the bottom. It's very simple. It doesn't add volume to the shoulders, nor does it add any girth or width to the hip area. For an hourglass figure, opt for fitted tops, wrap tops, belted tops. Anything that cinches in at the waist without adding bulk to the chest are going to be your best options. Keeping in mind that crop tops will showcase your defined waist and curvy hips, whereas tops that extend to the hip bone will de-emphasize the hips. Jackets, like tops, should follow the natural silhouette of the body. Single-breasted, belted, wrapped, cropped jackets are optimal for this body type. Also note that if you are petite, crop jackets or jackets that end right at the hip are your best friend. For the hourglass body, you want to avoid boxy styles as they will make you appear heavier, and you want to avoid double-breasted styles as they will add volume up top. Of course, trousers are also very important in maintaining balance. And to achieve this, as I mentioned before, it's very important that you coordinate them with the top. If you've added volume up top, you need to balance it with the proportionate volume on the bottom, all the while maintaining the defined waist. Wide leg and loose fitting trousers are best for the hourglass body type. However, boot cut, flares, and slightly tapered trousers are also good options for this silhouette. Mid-rise trousers are best for overall balance. However, high-rise trousers also work if you need to elongate the leg. For an hourglass figure, you actually want to avoid low-rise trousers as they will make your hips look wider. Likewise, pleats, pockets, and other embellishments around the hip area will also just make you look wider. The best denim options for an hourglass body type are boot cut or straight leg. However, wide leg flares and loose fitting or relaxed options are also great for this body type. Fun fact, hourglass figures should avoid low-rise jeans as they will make your legs look shorter and your hips look wider. Also, avoid pants or denim that are too loose or too baggy. They will just make you look wide and dumpy and overall make you appear heavier than you really are. Lastly, skirts, like trousers, should accentuate the waistline and follow the body's natural silhouette. You want to avoid adding bulk to the lower body, and pencil skirts are your bestie. Flips, bias, and A-lines are all great choices. Full circle and voluminous skirts with a nice high waist are especially awesome because they make your waist look even tinier. Skirts that are either knee length or longer will be most flattering. They will hug the hips in all the right places and generally have a natural hang and flow from the hip. Super flattering. With skirts, you want to steer clear of low-rise, boxy, or straight cuts, things with big pockets and embellishments at the hips. All of these styles will add unwanted bulk, leaving the frame visually imbalanced. If you're enjoying the video thus far, please be sure to stop and give it a big thumbs up. This lets YouTube know that you're enjoying my content and that they should push my videos out to more viewers, which will hopefully bring more subscribers to my new and growing channel. I myself am an hourglass figure. I have tons of visual examples of garments that are appropriate for this type of silhouette on my Instagram, my TikTok, as well as Pinterest. Go on over there and give your girl a follow. It's Born to Be Zesty on all platforms. I would love to have you follow me there. And while you're at it, if you've stayed with me thus far in this video, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Be sure to click the notification bell so that you never miss an upload. I hope this information was helpful to you all. I hope you got some great comment down below. Let me know what your body type is and let me know what you learned new today about the most appropriate garments for your silhouette or something that you found out that you truly shouldn't have been wearing. That's your favorite thing. Trust me, I found out a couple of things for my own. Or the things that you have been wearing that you shouldn't have, that you couldn't quite figure out just why it wasn't working for you. Comment down below, let me know. I hope that you guys learned some great information from this video, and I certainly appreciate you for tuning in. Wherever you are in the world, I hope that you are walking in gratitude and that you are dreaming big and living even bigger. I hope to see you in the next video. Bye.